Hey, real quick, excuse the background noise if there is any. My laptop is getting some embedding stuff and clustering stuff done for work, so can't do much about it right now. But world models, very cool stuff, and I've been doing a lot of cool work in them. My research group, Star Labs, got a paper, a workshop paper to CVPR on physics and deep Gaussians as a substrate for world models. I'm loving the work we're doing. We're looking to expand, or we're moving on to the next step, which is essentially creating the actual model to utilize that substrate. But as I work on world models, I can't help but think about what's next because you have a lot of people trying to figure out how do we get AI systems to really become this general intelligence. And the common term is AGI, artificial general intelligence. Yeah, we've seen that large language models, as they currently are, probably aren't going to get there, even with the architectures they utilize. Uh, then you're now seeing people like, okay, let's explore world models as a venue, as a transportation system to get to general intelligence because they do provide a really good environment to understand the laws of our world, our physical world, and we as beings who develop intelligence exist in a physical world that helps us develop intelligence. Like I know that if I drop this iPad, it's gonna fall, and I know that maybe the screen will crack or something like that. Yet I do think that idea is solid. I do think it has merit, but I do think what happens with world models, even with the one I'm working to build, is that you build a substrate for intelligence, but not intelligence itself, right? So it's similar to the thing I just explained right now is that we exist in a physical world, right? We're physical beings. So in this room right now, I could push the cushion out, it would move down. I could pour water and it will splash and all that. I can learn from that. But then those objects as they exist by themselves don't constitute intelligence. It's actually the experience, the experience, the interaction, all of that that really develops that intelligence to some degree. I think the final in quotations architecture shift that we're going to see past the world models is going to be in that memory space, right? And some people already work on this. It's called continual learning. But I do think the idea of memory and the idea of somehow mimicking the way our brains work to learn from our experiences, good and bad, um, is what's going to be really needed to create that general intelligence. Because I do think it doesn't work if we just use the same memory that we've been using, or we try and like try and just pull the relevant parts and all that with our current methods. But I do think it's an interesting thing because people already work on that. So it's like maybe by the time world models get to a good enough space, memory is already a done deal. Um, Probably not. Probably not. I do think it's interesting because memory is a bit of a tricky thing because with a world model, you can't get the physical laws, right? You ideally you learn the physical laws of an environment and the rules, but then with memory, how do you make sure that those experiences you learn don't contradict with the actual correct laws? So I think that's another interesting aspect of it. But I do think once we finally nail the head in both world models and eventually memory, it doesn't have to be sequential, but probably will be. Then we'll probably have a much more robust general intelligence system. Something that likes probably sci-fi doesn't really understand. Because what I've even been thinking about is that sci-fi is really imagined and probably conveyed a lot of cool ideas. But as we work on AI systems and we're seeing a lot more applications, I've been there's certain stuff I'm seeing now that I don't think that sci-fi is really even properly imagined or properly conveyed. So that's gonna be really exciting to see. But there's also gonna be a lot more dangers. I think when we have stuff like general intelligence systems, robotics become a much more compelling and robotics become a much more compelling idea, right? They become much more scarier as such. So it's gonna be weird to see, or it's gonna be exciting and weird and dangerous to see how that all plays out. But I do think I just want if I was throwing my hat in the ring here and saying what's after world models, I would say memory is gonna be the big thing. Right? So maybe you're gonna see more memory startups, maybe you're gonna see more groups going all in memory, more so than they are right now. That's all. I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.